If you love potatoes, this is gonna be your favorite potatoes dish. Let me tell you, it's a one-pot pasta. Oh yeah, it's authentic. It's the original one-pot pasta from Naples, and it's pasta with potatoes. Guys, this is gonna be your favorite new potato recipe. Ingredients for a family of 4. I'm using 3 average potatoes, about 300 grams of potatoes, but you can use any potatoes that you like. We're going to use leftover short pasta. And the leftover short pasta here is ditalini, and I've got some fusilli, which we're going to break. Oh yeah. You can also use long pasta, such as dry pappardelle or fettuccine, the flat noodles, because you can break them. Avoid to break the spaghetti, please. We're gonna make the soffritto with 1 carrot, 1 celery stick, 1/4 of onion, 1 garlic cloves. I have 1 liter of vegetable stock. We are not gonna use all of it. Maybe we need to use half a liter, but always good to have 1 liter with you in case you're using more pasta than I use. Here I've got about 300 grams of pasta. You might use more than that. Provolone cheese, very important. We're gonna add the cheese right at the end to add more flavors, but you can also use mozzarella, fresh mozzarella, dry mozzarella, buffalo mozzarella. Extra virgin olive oil, salt and pepper. In Naples, some people like to add pancetta as well, which is a beautiful thing to do. You can use speck, you can use salami, you can be creative, okay? But today I want to make it vegetarian, the way I like it, and accessible to everyone. And rosemary. I believe rosemary plays an important role in this recipe because potatoes and rosemary is the perfect match. Now let's start by doing the prepping, which is not much to do. What we have to do first is to peel the potatoes. We don't want to eat the skin, but if you want to eat the skin, it's completely up to you. Just make sure you wash them very well. If you want to use more potatoes, please do. The other ingredients can still be the same amount, but these potatoes, the more you use, the better. When you cut the potatoes, try to make them similar size to the pasta, or maybe just slightly bigger, okay? But don't have big chunks of potatoes, okay? So what we do is, we cut the potato in half, and then we try and make like strips like this, okay? And then little pieces like that, okay? So that's a good strip, but you can also break in half, up to you, but these strips are good. So the pasta is probably half the size. It's okay, because the potato will cook, will kind of shrink a little bit. Now let's get ready with the soffritto, okay? Which I also added the garlic. I'm going to blend the soffritto, which is something I love to do, especially for this recipe, okay? Because it makes it creamier. In Naples, they don't blend it. They cut the carrots, onion and celery into small pieces, and then they cook the soffritto for about 7 to 10 minutes. But believe me, if you follow this recipe and blend the soffritto, you're gonna have a creamier pasta without the cream. So what I like to do, I just break the celery. Celery has lots of flavors, okay? So don't skip the celery unless you really don't like it. And I'm gonna keep the skin on the carrots as well, okay? Because all the nutrients are there. Onion and just also the garlic like that, okay? The pasta, which you cut by hand, we just wanna break it in half. These are the fusilli. If you use dry pappardelle or linguine or tagliatelle, you want to do the same thing. The reason why you want to break it is because that's how it is. You don't have to break it, but it's just better. And so we're also matching the same size of this pasta we are using. It's all about using the leftover stuff that you have at home, okay? And if you have any short leftover pasta, this is a great recipe for you. Also, good quality pasta normally grows inside. So this is a good quality fusilli brand. And basically, if I cook the whole thing, it will grow inside. So that's why I'm trying to break it. So I don't have a big pasta and a small pasta together. Instead, I have similar size. Another important detail to consider, when you choose the pasta for this recipe, try to use pasta that cooks at the same time, okay? So these 2 pastas need 11 minutes to cook al dente, okay? If it's 1 minute more, 1 minute less, it's okay. But if one pasta needs 6 minutes and the other pasta needs 10 minutes, maybe it's not the right choice, okay? Try to have a pasta with the same cooking time. Now, last but not least, we're going to cut the provolone. I might only use half of this, but you can use as much as you want. So I'm gonna just cut this into cubes. And if you don't use all of it, you can always eat the cubes or put the cubes on a pizza. You can do whatever you want. All right, before we blend the sofrito, let's put extra virgin olive oil. Put about 3 tablespoons, a splash of tap water, and now we blend it. Done. Quickly shake, 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 like if you're making a smoothie. And here we have it, the beautiful cream from the sofrito. This is gonna be bomb of flavors. You smell this, it's already delicious. I could serve pasta just with this, beautiful. Now we're cooking everything in one pot, so please try to use a pot that is deep enough for you to cook everything together, okay? Medium-low heat, here we go. Let's warm up the pan. The first step is adding extra virgin olive oil. So I'm gonna add about 4 tablespoons. You can add 5 if you want. You can add 6. There we go, it was very generous. First thing I want to do is to add flavors to the oil. So we're going to kind of fry the rosemary, okay, in the oil. And we're gonna add flavors, okay, to the oil. So the oil will taste like rosemary. Now we want to basically toast the rosemary. It will take about a minute or two. You just see when the oil becomes hot, you will see the rosemary cooking. The rosemary is toasted and release the flavors to the oil, okay? What we're going to do now is we're going to add the sofrito. So we're adding the sofrito cream. Make sure we add all of it. Let's add a little splash of water. And let's now cook this on a medium-low heat. What I'm going to do now, I'm also going to add the potatoes. What we're going to do now, we're going to cook the potatoes and sofrito together for about 7 to 10 minutes before we start adding the stock. But at the moment, we might only need to add a little bit more water, like a little splash. And that's it. Yeah, let's let it simmer for a little bit. Make sure you watch it so you can keep stirring. But at the moment, we need the sofrito to create the foundation. We need the rosemary to give flavors. We need the potatoes to start cooking, okay? You could add salt and pepper now if you want, but I'm not going to, simply because we're going to use stock, okay, which is already full of flavors. So I will say add the salt and pepper at the end, so you will know how much you need. Just don't want this to dry up, so I'm going to keep adding a little bit of water. If you didn't make the sofrito creamy, you would have done the same thing. Put the carrot, celery, onion, garlic together in the pan with the potatoes and create the foundations. All right, guys, it's been about 7 minutes, and as you can see, our beautiful sofrito is ready. It's kind of drying up a little bit, which we don't want that to happen, okay? Our potatoes are also getting softer. It's still crunchy, but you know, starting to get softer. What we do now, we start adding the vegetable stock, okay? So don't add chicken stock or beef stock, okay? You can do whatever you want. I highly recommend it to keep it vegetarian. We don't want to overpower the recipe, you know, with chicken or beef stock. What we want to do now with the stock is basically cover the potatoes, okay? We kind of need to boil the potatoes now, okay? I would say at least 20 minutes, okay? Let's put a little bit more. We want to cook the potatoes with the lid on for about 10 minutes, and then we're going to check how they are, okay? If they're nice and soft, they're ready. But if they need more time, you keep cooking, okay? And the cooking time really depends on how small or big you cut your potatoes, okay? There is a chance that we are done in 10 minutes, but it could be more. It's been 10 minutes. Oh, yeah, look how aggressive this is. Let's go back to medium heat. Yeah, it's boiling. Let's quickly stir. Nothing stuck to the bottom, which makes me very happy. Let's just try now to touch the potato with a fork. And I can feel still a little bit hard. In about 10 minutes, these potatoes will be ready, which means we can start boiling the pasta. But before doing that, I will say get a masher and just gently mash the potatoes. Just help to get the potatoes softer, okay? But it would be nice to have a combination of mashy potatoes and a little bit hard potatoes so that you can feel it when you bite it, when you eat the pasta. It's a nice combination to have. It's up to you what kind of experience you want, okay? You can have completely mashed potatoes and serve it with the pasta. That will be fine. Or I like to have a little bit of mashed potatoes, but also want to bite the potatoes, so I don't mind to have a little bit crunchy potatoes at the same time. So I have the best from both worlds, you know. Or you can just have the crunchy potatoes in it and the pasta. It's completely up to you how you want it, okay? So the timing that you cook the potatoes, it's completely up to you. Now we're gonna add the pasta. So we're gonna have a lot of starch in this sauce, which means we're gonna have one of the creamiest pastas that you ever had without any cream. At this point you can add stock or water. I am using a liter of stock, so make sure you add very hot stock, okay? Or boiling water, okay? It has to be boiling stock or boiling water. That way your pasta starts cooking straight away, okay? Because if you're using cold stock or cold water, you actually stopping the cooking time. For the next 10 minutes, I recommend you to be next to the pot and keep stirring, okay? No lid on anymore, because we need the water now to evaporate. And the reason why we're here, this is called a risottatura technique. It's like when you cook risotto, right? You want to keep stirring and be present with this, okay? Be there. Let the pasta know that you are watching. This is the moment where you can taste a little bit of potatoes. You try it and then you find out if you need more salt. I think the flavors are beautiful because I've added stock, which is so salty. And don't forget, we're gonna add pecorino at the end. So for me, it's a perfect amount of salt. But if you want more, this is the time to add the salt. For me now, it's important to add the pepper, okay? So I'm gonna add beautiful black pepper, as much as you like. If I stir, I can see how creamy this pasta already is, right? Now what you could do, you could help, don't go too hard, you can mash a little bit more. Don't go too hard because we have the pasta in there now, okay? But you can gently mash so the potato can go a little bit mushy if you want to. Otherwise, just leave it alone. We basically have 30 seconds left, so I'm gonna quickly stir and we are done. And guys, if you think that you need more water during the process, add more. If you need to cook it more because it's too wet, well, you just have to cook a little bit more and maybe have a more mashy pasta. But you will learn this, the more you make it, the more you learn. Okay, we're done. Switch off the stove, please. We wait just 10 seconds before we add the pecorino. Now it's been 10 seconds, I'm gonna add the pecorino cheese, be generous, and we're going to put the provolone that we cut into cubes, okay? Very important detail. And if you guys really love rosemary the way I do, you wanna add a little bit of raw rosemary right there, right now, okay? I believe it adds lots of flavors, but this is up to you. Now this is where the magic begins, so pay attention. Now we stir. We have the starch from the potatoes, starch from the pasta. This is super creamy. There is no need for you to add any pasta water. Well, we don't have pasta water, it's already in there. We cooked in the water, in the pasta water. The cheese melted beautifully, okay? All we have to do now, that I already recommend, is to toss, like if you're doing risotto. Just toss as much as you can, okay? Just look how stunning this is. Look, this is amazing. I'm just amazed. There is no cream in this. And look how creamy this is. It's incredible. It's insane. It's easy. It's quick. It's beautiful. It's time to serve this gorgeous creamy pasta. The plate doesn't need anything else, okay? Well, actually, it needs more pecorino cheese. And what I like to do is to put some rosemary for decoration on top. Or what you can actually do is chop up the rosemary into small pieces, right? And add it in there with the pecorino cheese. In my opinion, adds a lot of flavors. But it is up to you how much you love rosemary, okay? You need to come and listen to the sound. Listen. This is creamier than any other pastas I ever made, such carbonara, cacio e pepe. This is the creamiest pasta I've ever made without any sort of cream, a small amount of cheese. This is incredible. I just love the sound. Even though it's getting cold, it's still creamy. Look at that. Look at that. It's a nice forchettata. I've got beautiful cream full of flavors in my mouth. The potato feels like meat. The pasta completely melted in my mouth. Those ingredients really made love together. They really like each other. This is showing you that you don't need too much. It's a complete meal. Potatoes, pasta, the sofritto, the cheeses. It's a complete meal. It's a cheap meal. Ingredients that you have in your pantry, in your fridge. Easy to make, easy to please everyone sitting on your table. This is a vegetarian, it's a crowd pleaser, and it's easy to make. You don't have to worry about going out and buy any food. All the ingredients you need for this are right in your house, right now. You go and check. So please, do it, and thank me later. Thank you so much for watching this episode. I will see you in the next Vincenzo's Plate video recipe. E ora si mangia. Vincenzo's Plate, one of the most beautiful dishes ever created. Thank you, Naples, thank you, Napoli, for creating this dish.